Good afternoon and welcome to Yorkshire Voice this Wednesday the 19th of March.
Here's what we have coming up on today's programme.
200 jobs at risk as unions vote in favour of strike action at the University of Bradford.
A deaf awareness event highlights the importance of British Sign Language.
And why walkers at a top Yorkshire beauty spot have a spring in their step.
Our top story today, and the staff at the University of Bradford have voted in favour of strike action. It follows the university's announcement that 200 jobs will be cut in their bid to save £13 million. Our correspondent Adonis Storr has been looking at the crisis facing higher education.
Staff at the University of Bradford have backed strike action in a consultative ballot conducted by the University and College Union. This follows announcements from the University of Bradford that they will cut around 200 jobs. But this isn't unique to Bradford. A quarter of UK universities are cutting staff and unions fear 10,000 jobs could be lost. Inflation, tuition fees and falling number of international students are being blamed. The UCU has said that the total number of staff the management have cut or want to cut across leading universities in Yorkshire since September last year is nearly 1,700. In a statement, Bradford University has told us they need to make at least £13 million worth of savings and that they appreciate that this is a challenging time for their staff. They said the university would also close its chemistry and film and television degree programmes.
Thanks, Adonis. Well, our reporter Johnny Holmes has been on campus at Bradford University speaking to students about the impact of the cuts.
Bradford is UNESCO's first City of Film and the UK's City of Culture in 2025. Despite this, the University of Bradford has decided to shut down its film and TV and chemistry courses.
So I feel like they've kind of sprung it up on us quite recently and quite randomly as well, that they're shutting down the film course and some of these other courses as well. I think it's really important for people in Bradford to know that they can study film in Bradford. It's a city of film, it's got a rich heritage of film in Bradford.
I think the loss of the film course is kind of tragic, to be honest, because Bradford has such a rich heritage in film. It was the very first city of culture, and they're just kind of ignoring that. They're kind of pushing it to the side.
It's kind of taking hope away from young people in Bradford. The whole thing is that you don't need to move out to get these jobs, like in media and films and things like that. Bradford's going to support you. There's plenty of things over here. You don't need to move down south. Something like this, like a decision like this, is kind of going against all of that, and it's kind of telling people if you want a career in film, if you want a career in media, you're going to have to move out of Bradford.
Third-year film student Sam Pittman has forwarded a motion in opposition to the cuts.
Ever since it was announced that the film and TV courses were going to be closed, I wrote a motion. So basically opposing the closure of these courses. It's worth trying, it's worth fighting for at the end of the day.
Fellow third-year film student Haider Mahboob is the seconder of the motion.
So the motion is just kind of, is to reverse the decision, or is to at least allow us to speak to the people that are making the decision and try to appeal to them.
The UCU, the University College Union, has released a very strong statement on the issue with some really strong words such as the academic vandalism that Bradford's management is embarking upon not only affects the university but all of the people of Bradford. They say that at every step their members have demonstrated a willingness to engage, but management has repeatedly refused to listen to their concerns.
For Yorkshire Voice, I'm Johnny Holmes.
Period poverty is an issue which affects 41% of those who menstruate, and charities have been calling on businesses to provide free sanitary items. This week, the supermarket Aldi have paired with menstrual charity Bloody Good Period to provide free period products in their customer bathrooms. We now join our reporter Holly Hughes, who has more on this.
Thank you, Cynthia. I'm outside the Aldi in Burley Park in Leeds. And Aldi is one of the newest partners of the charity Bloody Good Period. And joining me now is Sarah Pleasty-Turner from the charity Period Friendly. So Sarah, why are schemes like Aldi's so important?
Period products should be available in all public bathrooms, just like soap and toilet paper. So it's great that Aldi are now providing them for free in all their bathrooms.
And I know that Freedom for Girls also promotes so much education surrounding periods. And what kind of education do you mean by that?
So, as a charity, Freedom for Girls provide free period products to anywhere that needs them, be that a business or a charity, an organisation, and individuals. But a big part of the issues around periods and menopause is the taboos in society. So people not understanding their own bodies or how to support people that they care for. So education is a huge thing because taboos in society is such a big issue. So providing education in schools or in different workplaces, different organisations like Aldi. So everyone can support each other is a massive deal, but mostly so women and girls and people that menstruate can understand their own bodies and how to keep themselves healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there are already so many schools, and you see it in restaurants as well, and now in big supermarkets like Aldi, giving out free period products to the people who need it. Do you think that we're progressing really well, or do you think that there's maybe still quite a long way to go?
I think it's a mixture. It's still often seen as a bit of an extra, and I don't think it should be. People that have periods don't choose to have periods, and they have a right to be supported to understand their own bodies and to be able to keep themselves healthy. So I think it's great that period products are provided and education is available in a lot of schools and different organisations, but I think we need to do more, and it's not a luxury and an extra cost. It's something that should be provided everywhere.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck for Freedom for Girls and for more
Thank
schemes
you.
like this. Now back to Sundus and Thea.
Thank you, Holly. This week is British Sign Language Week, and what better way to celebrate the deaf community?
There are 18 million people who are deaf or hard of hearing, and less than 1% of them speak BSL in the UK.
Our reporter Matthew Dudley went down to the Leeds Deaf Social Club last night to speak with the members.
Sign Language Awareness Week celebrates the deaf community and those who know British Sign Language or BSL. A major part of the deaf community are deaf clubs such as this one in Leeds, and the members love it. However, some of the members are concerned about the future of Deaf Club. There is a barrier between hearing and deaf people when it comes to communication, but should the hearing world start to learn BSL? This week is the perfect time to pick up a new skill, come down and join the conversation.
And our reporter, Matt Dudley, joins us in the studio now. Hey, Matt, thanks for joining.
My pleasure.
So could you show us some simple gestures that are kind of basic to know when it comes to BSL?
Yeah, of course. So I was going to show you how to say my name is and then Thea Sundus. So we start with hello.
Hello.
And my name is. And then for Thea, we'll go for T, H, E, and then A. And for Sundus, it's S, U, N, D, U, S.
Awesome.
There we
Thank you
go.
for showing us, Matt. And just out of curiosity, what inspired you to start learning sign language?
So I started learning BSL, and I'm still only a beginner in learning BSL, but my partner's parents are all deaf, so it felt like a level of respect for me to go into their house, communicate with them the way that they communicate with each other. So I started learning, the alphabet, learning a few phrases here and there, and picking bits up as I go along.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Matt. And now for our next story. An iconic street in York is undergoing repairs this week after windows were found to be in a dangerous state and in need of urgent repair. But the scaffolding in the shambles, which dates back to the 13th century, has been obstructing pedestrians as well as diminishing its photo appeal for tourists.
The disruption is expected to last 3 months. Our reporter Ben Monse went down to the street to find out why everything was in such shambles.
For the next 12 weeks, the historic scenery of the York Shambles will be temporarily obstructed by scaffolding. It comes after a recent survey found a number of windows on the street were in need of urgent repair. York City Council shared on social media that all the shops will remain open, as well as pedestrian access maintained, despite the works continuing.
It's unfortunate, but they're historic buildings and it's a sort of short-term eyesore for long-term renovations that will improve the street, I'm sure.
The notorious street, which is famed for its close ties to Diagon Alley in Harry Potter, will temporarily cease to be the photo opportunity tourists will have hoped for.
It's kind of like one of those things, if you go hiking up a mountain, then it turns out to be a cloudy day and you're like, well, okay, so you just kind of got to roll with it.
The council have also said that they will provide more updates as specialist heritage contractors get their work underway. Benjamin Monse, Yorkshire Voice.
And now we've got some sport news for you with our reporter Will Cooper.
Thanks, Sindus. Leeds Rhinos have announced that hooker Andy Ackers will be out of action for 3 months with a hamstring tear. The England international picked up the injury playing against St Helens last Friday and joins Cameron Smith and Mike Acevo on the Rhinos' growing injury list. And in football, it was a tough night for Rotherham United in League One as they took on high-flying Wycombe Wanderers at the New York Stadium. A late flurry of goals from the visitors was enough to secure the 3 points as a consolation goal from Rotherham forward Johnson Clark-Harris saw the game finish in a 3-2 defeat for the Millers. That's all from me. Back to you, Fia.
Thanks, Will. Now we go to Eric with the weather.
After a cold start and a frost overnight, the temperatures have quickly risen. The rest of the day has been dry with sunny spells in many areas. We're seeing highs of 13 degrees across many parts of the region. This afternoon is dry with plenty of sunshine, but some patches of cloud have developed. This evening will remain dry with many clear skies and light sunshine before dusk. Overnight it will be cold and moderately cloudy with minimum temperatures of -1 degrees. Thursday brings another dry and warm day with maximum temperature of 16 degrees. The sun sets around 6:15 today and it rises again at 6:10 tomorrow. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Eric, for that report. It looks absolutely beautiful in West Yorkshire. And now in North Yorkshire, it's a county renowned for its natural beauty and countryside walks. This week, one spot in particular has been named the best springtime walk in the UK. The cosy town of Malham, nestled between Settle and Grassington, boasts a circular route which takes in waterfalls, coves, and even one spot which you may remember from Harry Potter. Our reporter Charlie O'Brien went down to check it out.
Malham Cove to Gordale Scar has been named the best walk in the UK. The walk takes in Malham Cove, as seen in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, and Waterfall Janet's Foss is just down the road. Voted the best walk under 13 miles in a Which.com survey, it's not just the shorter strolls that Malham has to offer.
I went for a swim this morning as well, so that was nice.
I'm actually doing a sponsored walk later in the year for the Alzheimer's Society, and this is the start and the finish of the walk, so I've just come to check it out again.
Yeah, so I'm here for the climbing at Malham Cove. Yeah, been coming quite a long time.
One couple that I spoke to said that coverage of places like Malham Cove online had made the walk too busy. Others, however, weren't so sure.
I don't know, it seems a shame to hide places like this when they are so lovely. So I would never not tell anyone.
I totally get what you're saying, and yes, I think in some circumstances it definitely can. But I think with a place that's already so accessible, you know, your 15-minute walk from Malham, it's already a place that gets packed on weekends, and it's already a place that's so accessible that it probably won't have such a big effect.
I come from the Lake District where we get an awful lot more people than I think come here. So living in Windermere and seeing the number of people come here, it's actually quite peaceful coming to the Dales for a while instead. Yes. So.
Charlie O'Brien, Yorkshire Voice.
That's all we have for time for today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. where we'll bring you all the news from around the region. Make sure to follow us on all social media to stay up to date with all the local news.
Thanks for joining us on Yorkshire Voice today. I've been Sindus Abdi.
And I've been Thea Robinson. So, do you want to go on a hike?
I do. I really want to go to Malham Cove.
It's so pretty, isn't it?
It is. We should go soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.